The Philippine economy expanded by 6% in the third quarter this year, making it the third fastest in the Asian region. The Philippine Statistics Authority announced that the third quarter GDP growth is an improvement from the 5.8% in the second quarter. It is the third fastest behind China's 6.9% and Vietnam's 6.8%. Freddie Abando has added details.
The country's economy maintained steady growth for the third quarter of 2015. As reported by the President's Chief Economic Advisor, Secretary Arsenio Balisacan, bared a GDP growth of 6%, slightly better than the 5.8% for the previous quarter and 5.4% for the first 3 months of 2015. The 9-month growth averaged 5.6%. Balisacan projected a full-year growth of 6%. Early this year, the forecast ranged from 7 to 8%. The Philippines ranks third in Asia as one of the top economies. China is number one, Vietnam is second, and leads the ASEAN economies. Budget Secretary Florencio Butchabad cited the gains to the President's leadership.
We're still keeping the 7 to 8% for next year. Hopefully the global environment will be much more favorable next year, and indeed so far the global forecast indicates some slight improvements in the global economy. The conditions, I think, for this quarter are quite favorable, and so far the indications are that the fourth quarter is likely to be a better quarter.
The domestic economy fueled growth. Slow government spending for the first quarter has grown by leaps and bounds. It has risen from 3.9% to 17.4%. The implementation of major infrastructure projects all over the country was a major boost for job generation and economic activity in the countryside. Spending bottlenecks of various government agencies which affected the absorptive capacity to utilize their budgets were addressed and resolved.
With a strong focus on our own domestic constraints, particularly in infrastructure, in recovery and reconstruction, in continued investment in human development, greater focus on SME development, we should be able to achieve 7 to 8%.
Household or consumer spending also grew due to more opportunities for employment. Low inflation also contributed to the share of growth. So with falling oil prices, the slowdown of the global economy resulted in a trade deficit of 58.8 billion pesos from a surplus of 7.3 billion pesos in 2014. Exports plunged by almost 1,000%. Badly hit was electronics and the semiconductor sector. The tourism boom has been steady with more tourist arrivals and domestic travel by Filipinos. Agriculture growth has been minimal. Rice and corn production has been affected by several typhoons and the threat of the El Nino phenomenon.
This quarter is not just an ordinary quarter. It's a quarter by very favorable factors in affecting consumption, low inflation, continued growth in remittances, low oil prices, high consumer confidence, and then you have the election along the way.
Despite all the risks that could affect sustained growth, Balisacan is confident the strong fundamentals of the economy will prevail and there are plus signs for the final quarter. Secretary Abad stressed continuity of reforms is a must for sustained economic growth beyond the term of President Aquino. Balisacan stressed the President's straight path of governance is the key to sustained growth for 2015.
The outcome of the national election will have an impact on the economy, and what we are hoping is that whoever will get elected will sustain and even speed up the reforms that would have to be done both at the economic, political, and social dimensions, so that we can raise the level of the potential of the economy.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.